look at the Ubisoft hack. Atozy put out a video about the Ubisoft hack, so let's take a look at the Ubisoft hack. So we can point and laugh, shall we?
Ubisoft can't stop getting hacked, it seems like, because hackers just obliterated them after they were able to allegedly bypass Ubisoft and Rainbow Siege's security keys on not one, but two separate occasions in the last few weeks.
Okay, this may be slightly delayed because there has been a third hack. There's, I think when Atozy recorded this, the third hack hadn't happened yet. Yeah, there's like, so I'm guessing Atozy is probably getting the big one. The first date, like the first hack, it's today. Good, Rudy, I think it's today. I think the...
Heads back and laugh. Ready?
Yeah, it's today. Yes, exactly. Yeah, there was the first bit. So there's two hacks the first two hacks that he's going to go through. The first hack was the biggest one. And yeah, it's because the reason why they were able to do this, Atozy might get into this, is because hackers were able to pull the source codes for literally every game Ubisoft has ever made. That's how they got access in the first place, is because they have the source code for all the games. And so then they did the first hack, which was basically issuing, yeah, they were issuing credits to, like, and I think what was it, all told, I think the number was something like $6 billion in in-game credits were just handed out to players. Plus, people were getting banned and unbanned. Like, the first hack was big. The second two hacks were not as... Was it 32 trillion? Okay, it was like a lot of money that was just given away to people. And then the second and third hacks were minor in nature. I think it constituted most, like, maybe it was some credit issuance, and then there was like some bans or unbans. The first hack, though, was insane, which is what I'm guessing he's going to go over.
Does my game say, hey, furry princess, you're such a cute furry? What? Ubisoft, what are you doing?
And once the hackers were in game, they started causing complete chaos. In quote, rewarding everyone with 2 billion in-game credits, hijacking the log to throw digs at Ubisoft, and jokingly banning all the employees for toxic behavior. And then to make things even worse,
it was the employees that got banned? Oh my god. I did not realize that they banned all the employees on that. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, that is fucking perfect.
It's also amusing that the CEO of Ubisoft was on a certain financier's controversial island. Plus, they even threw a couple 6-7 jokes in there for good measure. So after the repeated attacks with little answer from Ubisoft, they decided to simply just shut down the marketplace and left a lot of players wondering, hey, I bought a lot of stuff.
Wait. Hold on. I thought they actually shut down the servers in their entirety. Not just the marketplace. Oh, it says Siege and the marketplace. Okay, so that, I was gonna say, like, I thought they actually shut down the entire game server. Yeah, so they had to do this 3 times now. They've literally, it's been shut down 3 times. At this
marketplace and left a lot of players wondering, hey, I bought a lot of stuff with these stolen funds. Will I get banned now? And then others were asking,
yes.
I wonder if we'll ever be able to play this game again, ever. Not to mention, there were also reports that Ubisoft as a whole had been hacked, with potentially terabytes of user and company data being stolen, raising questions about personal data breaches and the security of Ubisoft as a whole. And to make things even crazier, the hack might have come from a GitHub leak just days before. Yeah, so it's safe.
Wait. He's whipping through these too fast. Hang on. A public proof of concept exploit was released and is available on GitHub. Security researchers reported the exploitation in the wild shortly after disclosure, with some early blog posts mischaracterizing it as RCE. MongoDB and NVD confirm it's a read-only memory disclosure, though leaked secrets can enable further compromise. Yeah, like, you leak any secrets, you're going to get some very beautifully autistic individuals that will take those leaked secrets and be able to reverse engineer them into a hack. And Neil Cloudstorm Wake, thank you for the prime.
Days before. Yeah, so it's safe to say the hackers had a very Merry Christmas because they were presented with a little, hey, here are some massive holes in Ubisoft's backend for you to exploit. And well, it's safe to say they did exactly that. So imagine 2 days after Christmas, you're sitting down to play some video games while you're on holiday break, and boom, you log in to find suddenly you have billions of in-game credits and some skins so rare that they only gave them to certain developers. Well, Merry Christmas.
Everyone's been given the dev skin by this cheater, or hacker, I will call it. But there you go, I've got it on 0 right now.
So if that happened to you, you would probably do what a lot of other people did and start bawling out on the store. Because why would you assume something bad happened? Or how could you possibly be held responsible for this?
And therein lies why we're not going to see bans, I think. What Atozy just said is the exact reason why we will probably not see a lot of bans, because when it first happened, people probably went, I have no idea what's going on here. All of a sudden, I have $2 billion in credits. Well, fuck it. I guess I'll spend them. Like, they had no way to know that it was through a hack. Now, if Ubisoft like time tracks it so that once the announcement went out and it was widespread news that there was a hack, and then they tried to spend after that announcement was made, and there's like, oh, like they can make the argument about a reasonable person would have known because there was such widespread news about this hack. Maybe they could make an argument. Even then, they'd still be hard pressed to make that argument. But on the initial onset, like people spending all these, credit, the 2 billion credits that they got, Ubisoft, legally speaking, probably like, I think if they tried to ban people that spent that, I think they'd be in legal trouble because the people that got banned could easily make a case of, dude, I just logged in. I see I have 2 billion credits. There was no word about a hack. How was I supposed to know this is from a hack? And so, yeah, that's why I'm guessing that probably not very many people that spent those credits are gonna result in ban. Now, Ubisoft may take away everything that was bought with those credits. So that is I'm guessing that probably happened. It's like, they basically, when they did the rollback, they might have like yoinked any of the stuff that, obviously they yoinked the dev skins, and maybe they'll like yoink everything, all of the purchases made with the credits at the time of the hack. They might do that, but I seriously doubt that there's anybody going to get banned from spending these credits, because you could very easily make the argument, how the hell was I supposed to know?
It's just a glitch. Why don't you just take advantage of it? But apparently, players emptied out the store, which I guess could be possible with multiple trillions of credits being...
Miss Ember, this hack gives a mental image of Ubisoft waist deep in a dryer, yelling for their stepbrother to help them.
Andrea, no! See, that's a deliciously sexy scenario. I don't want to think of Ubisoft in a porn situation. Those are supposed to be fun and sexy, not horrified. How dare you? How dare you put that thought into my head? Gah! I don't want to think of Ubisoft going, help me, stepbrother. No! No! I'd rather you think of me like that, going, oh, help me, stepchat. Oh, I'm stuck. Help me, stepchat. See, now that's a much better mental image, don't you agree? Huh?
Gifted, but that's also insane because I thought it was a digital store and I didn't think a digital store could actually go empty. But obviously, people got excited and started showing off their new items online, gun charm skins, whatever else Rainbow Six has. But not all players were so lucky because some players were just randomly getting banned and only some of them got unbanned and then possibly banned again. And in general, the game's global chat was being flooded with a whole bunch of random spam messages, like this clip being showed of a global chat being overrun by ban messages to the point where you can barely keep up with what's going on at times. Except when
I saw this on, like, somebody posted on Twitter. Yeah, you saw, it wasn't Chinese, but it was basically like just ban after ban after ban after ban after ban in English.
Look at those chats. It doesn't seem like those are actually real players' names being banned. They're just lyrics to Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. And It Wasn't Me by Shaggy being written out word for word in ban messages. So that's definitely interesting and a unique way to do a hack. I guess why not have a sense of humor when you're doing tens of millions of dollars of damage to a massive billion-dollar company? But popular content creators were quick to...
Is Ubisoft still considered a billion-dollar company? Has anybody seen what their market valuation is? Because I'm pretty sure Ubisoft. I'm reasonably sure it's not a billion-dollar company. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like hundreds of millions, sure. Billion-dollar? Ew. Ubisoft hasn't been that for a while. Hence why they basically had to sell themselves to Saudi Arabia, is because their stock value like went through the floor. And people are jumping ship faster than rats. So, yeah.
Come out and warn people against spending these gifted credits, because no matter how tempting it is, Ubisoft had allegedly banned people in the past for their own screw-ups. So that's not reassuring or good at all. And then you even had some streamers going so far to say don't even log into the game at all just to be safe.
Do not log into your game. Do not spend renown. Do not spend rainbow credits. That's my early warning to you. And before you say, well, this is Ubisoft's mess up or it's, hacked or whatever it is, they have banned people in the past for their own screw-ups.
And I mean, Ubisoft isn't exactly instilling confidence in their fans with a statement they made like this. We are very aware of the incident currently affecting Rainbow Six Siege. Our teams are working on a resolution. We will share further updates once available. Wow. Thank you, Ubisoft.
Okay, I'm gonna do a gimme here. This is honestly a perfectly legit message for them to initially put out when the hack happens. Just saying we're aware of it affecting Rainbow Siege. We're working on a resolution. We'll share further updates once available. Honestly, I see, like, it's funny. It's funny as hell, but there's nothing inherently wrong with them saying this. Like, if this was at the very onset of the attack, they would know, okay, something's gone sideways. We need to figure out what it is. And it, they're not gonna like post. They're not gonna make a public posting on Twitter saying, oh, we got hacked. Don't spend the credits. No, this is like a perfectly normal. Something's going on. We're working on it. We'll let you know when you have updates. I see no issue with this.
Resolution. We will share further updates once available. Wow. Thank you, Ubisoft. Very cool. I mean, it's safe to say that did not make anyone feel better. Basically, we know something's up, but we have no idea what this something is. All while people are still trying to log on and play. But at this point, news outlets and various sources of the Rainbow Six community were warning people to change passwords, turn on two-factor authentication, and just be prepared for a potential massive data breach. Because remember, at the time, people were reporting possible terabytes of data being stolen, which could include people's payment and billing information, along with tons of other personal information. Not exactly what you want to hear just days after one of the most expensive holidays of the year. Because that means you might have to be worried about something called credit card fraud. Awesome. Again.
This video is sponsored by Delete Me. I'm kidding. Or maybe it's sponsored by Quora. Would that have been the perfect happer for Atozy to go, and, if that was to happen, well, this video is sponsored by... It kind of would have been perfect, honestly.
Thank you, Ubisoft. Very cool. Even though it's technically not their fault, but apparently there were some vulnerabilities. But slowly, Ubisoft began to tweet out more information, informing players an hour after the first tweet they had shut down Siege and the marketplace intentionally while they figured out the issue. Again, that's not really that reassuring, not to mention people still can't play. On top of that, being worried about their information leaked on the internet. But as the next day rolled around, Rainbow Six tweeted out more news. Apparently, no one who spent any of the gifted coins would be banned, as they were working to bring the game back online. So those ballers, I guess, could just breathe in a sigh of relief. Except, obviously, they're going to be taking back all the items that were technically stolen from their store. I guess.
I mean, understandable. Say what you will. You can say what you will about Ubisoft being a dogshit company. That kind of response, understandable. It's exactly what I was saying before. They would basically don't expect to keep them. They're going to yoink all the stuff that they bought from the store, put it back in the store. It's perfectly understandable, perfectly fine.
That was expected though. Meanwhile, Twitter accounts claiming to have insider information were posting that yes, it was a serious hack and that there were actually 4 or 5 separate hacker groups that Ubisoft was well aware of. And all of them had different intentions. One group was apparently acting like a Rainbow Six Robin Hood and gifting 339 trillion of in-game money to players, which is the 2 billion to each person, which is crazy. And they were also banning and unbanning players. And then others were alleged to have a little bit more sinister motives because they were allegedly infiltrating back-end user data and trying to extort Ubisoft for that. And apparently they just had an entire Telegram channel dedicated to it. Interesting enough though, the alleged hack actually came from a GitHub post just a day or two before the hack, leading people to believe the hackers very well could have accessed private information. And what level of private information do they have? We still don't know for sure, which is also quite alarming, but it's starting to seem like the tweets might carry some real weight.
And that is the big part. The big thing. Okay, they had fun gifting players billions of credits, doing bans, doing non-bans, giving them dev skins. That last part is the real kick in the teeth. Is how much user data did they snatch up, and how much and you know, how much of that user data is going to be used in a nefarious way to either commit identity theft or a ransomware attack, and basically try and use it to extort the player base. Because if that starts happening, like Ubisoft's stock has already dropped like almost 6% today, or as of today. If word starts getting out, if people start like publicly announcing that they are receiving extortion from the hackers that stole their personal data, I think Ubisoft might be done. Yeah, you're going to see a class action lawsuit. Its stock would basically breach the earth's crust. It would fall so hard. And even the sale to even the sale to Saudi Arabia might not save it, because that is massive. That their security was so lacking that not only did hackers get in and completely fuck their most popular game, because yes, Rainbow Six Siege is their most popular game to date. Tencent bought like a 25% stake, and then Saudi Arabia bought up the rest, if I'm remembering how they did it correctly. Tencent like bought like a small portion, bought only like 25% stake in it. Was it EA? Oh, that was EA. Wait, what? So wait, Saudi. I get these things. Gee, I get these two companies mixed up all the damn time. Wait. But didn't Ubisoft also sell to another, like Tencent's got the 25% stake, but didn't they sell to someone else also? Or did Tencent, 25% the spin-off company from Ubisoft with their like Tencent's getting basically Rainbow. It's getting all the Tom Clancy stuff. I thought someone bought up the rest of Ubisoft as well, though. I thought there was someone else. Like, because Tencent doesn't have a majority share. It's only got like 25% or something like that. And part of the deal was okay to steal them. Okay. I must be getting him confused. Sorry. I must be getting him confused. Okay. But regardless, if word starts getting out about people saying I'm getting extorted by these hackers that breached Ubisoft and stole all the data, then the company's done. There'll be class action lawsuits on Ubisoft. Ubisoft's like, regardless of Tencent's ownership. Okay, regardless of Tencent's ownership in it, Ubisoft will go through the floor. There'll be class action lawsuits that will fundamentally ruin the company if that happens, because not only has there been a massive data breach and data leak because they stole the game code for every Ubisoft game so that code has been pulled, But now if they get user data en masse and start using it for extortion purposes, that's going to be a major problem. There's no way Ubisoft walks away from that. Yeah, I mean, what I think would have probably end up happening is by part of the agreement, Tencent would be able to keep the IPs, which again, the IPs in question was basically the Rainbow games. They, the Tencent's getting, Tencent's like, part of establishing what's the word I'm looking for? A branch off company, essentially, that will house all of Ubisoft's popular IPs, which bottom line, the Tom Clancy games and the Assassin's Creed games. And that's probably it. That's probably all the IPs. There might be a couple of more in there that I'm not thinking of. That's going to be like all the IPs that this offshoot company is going to be in control of, and Ubisoft proper will have all the dog shit. And so if something like this comes up, Ubisoft proper will go on it. They will go under, and then my guess is Tencent will probably buy up the corpse. That's likely what, which also begs the question. This does kind of beg the question, was Tencent perhaps behind it? Yes, we're now getting into conspiracy theory territory, but it's fun. What is the possibility that Tencent contracted out these hacker groups to go after Ubisoft, cause all this havoc, cause the stock to tank, and then if they can start like doing extortions and causes Ubisoft to basically just plummet and go bankrupt, then Tencent could swoop in and just snap up all of Ubisoft proper and absorb it into itself. It's a conspiracy theory, but would it shock anybody to find out that was the case? This is like a big fucking Chinese tech company. They could do it. They could absolutely do it. And I could see them doing this as a means of basically getting all the rest of Ubisoft. I don't know. It's just a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know what is true and what's not, since we're mostly going off of tweets and Ubisoft isn't necessarily denying any of the more serious claims. They certainly aren't speaking out on their Twitter, like only minimal updates from the Rainbow Six account as of now, at least. But a lot of people on Reddit are saying all this is being blown way out of proportion, and people...
Spin. Sorry, I'm hunting goldfish. Oh, the spin. It's being blown way out of proportion, guys. Don't you worry about it. Everybody remain calm. Nothing to see here. This is just being blown way out of proportion. Now, giving away trillions of dollars in in-game currency, massive bans and unbans, all of Ubisoft's entirety gain code from all of their products has been ripped out of their hard drives. This is all blown way out of proportion, guys. Nothing to see here.
We'll just need to calm down. Hopefully they're right, but they're stating in their opinion the worst of it is likely users simply being banned and possible Ubisoft code being leaked. But thankfully for users, no personal data, according to them. And then after it felt like everything with the siege servers was moving and things were, I guess, going back to normal, things got worse, just like in most of my videos. Because Ubisoft was hacked again on January 4th, with players being hit with 67-day bans. Haha, 6-7, 2026. Well, why did we carry that into 2026? I wish we left that back in 2025, but here we are. And some streamers are even getting banners asking them to meow or ooh-woo to play the game, or calling them a furry and interacting with them live through hacked in-game chat.
What does my game say? Hey, furry princess, you're such a cute furry. What? Ubisoft, what are you doing? Well, I'm getting exposed. Yo, type 7 at the top if I'm a furry, Ubisoft, and you're in my room.
What
So, I mean, hey, it's never really a dull day on the internet, is it? But with that new hack, you also had connection issues and a bunch of players getting banned again. And then on top of that, when Ubisoft finally responded again, it's not like they reassured everyone. They were just basically like, yeah, we're on it. Sorry, guys. And since then, a Twitter source who seems to have most of the insider information gave people a little bit more reassurance that while hackers did seem to find a flaw in Ubisoft's backend, no employee or customer data was stolen. So as of right now,
and we're supposed to believe this after they were hacked twice. Now 3 times, because don't forget, Atozy's video is not covering the 3rd hack that just happened like 2 days ago, I think. If I'm not mistaken, the most recent hack was like a day or 2 ago. So yeah, 3 times in a month. And no, Colonel, there's no flaw in my back end. I have a deliciously beautiful back end. Thank you very much. And thank you for the gifted, Gramps. Well, Rudy, I'm not sure that he knew about it at the time that he recorded and was editing his video. Might have been when the 3rd hack came out, so maybe that might not have made it in. Or maybe, who knows, maybe he'll throw an edit in. But I mean, he's only got like 30 seconds left, so chances are he probably made up this video before the 3rd hack and was finishing editing it when the 3rd hack came out, and is just, well, shit.
right now, it seems like players can be able to rest easy, even though they apparently can't really queue ranked, but it seems like the game is still relatively unplayable, and lots of people are assuming that the servers will be fully shut down again at any moment. And even if they fix this one backend issue, the hackers could just, you know, find more weak spots and continue this attack for days or even weeks to come.
They did.
Who knows how long they can be doing this, because they thought they fixed it, but now on January 4th, they were like, psych, we'll wreck it again. But I guess we just kind of have to wait to see. Until then, drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hopefully Ubisoft fixes their
Let's see if he makes a comment here in the... Nope, he doesn't say it. Yeah, he doesn't mention it in the descriptor, but yeah, there was the 3rd hack. And let's do this. Well, it's not so much that 2FA is a scam, Revan, because they basically did data scraping. They basically pulled the data, and 2FA might unnecessarily apply here because you're not accessing, you weren't trying to like access the user information like in a normal way. They actually reached in and pulled all of the code out there. So 2FA would not be a factor there. It wouldn't even come into play. Yeah, it makes it pointless. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Robin. You're saying, like, well, so much for 2FA being a secure thing. Yeah, 2FA doesn't work when hackers actually take over the server data itself. Then 2FA is not going to do a fucking thing. Yeah, it's not infallible. There's no security protocol that is infallible. 2FA is good for the average person, for the average thing. This is sort of an extreme circumstance, to say the least.